What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope y'all have had a great start to your Thursday so far. I'm going to attempt to double up my videos between now and the impacts of what looks likely of Henri here in the next few days to New England. So I'm going to give you a quick update of what the model guidance looked like overnight into this morning. We're not going to go in depth on what's steering Henri. I did that last night, and things haven't really changed with that at all. We're not going to go too deep with that, but we're going to take a look at model guidance and some ensembles and what it's showing, what's the latest updates for Henri. So thank you all for tuning in this morning. It isn't very common that I do morning videos during the week, but I thought I'd do one this morning as it is looking likely that a lot of people is going to be directly impacted by Henri here in the future. So here it is. It's dealing with a little bit of northerly shear. You can tell the wind direction coming in from the north. That's helping to steer it a little bit, but it's also limiting its short-term intensification. So it hasn't really strengthened overnight. It hasn't really weakened, but it's still over some warm waters, and it's still blowing up convection over the middle. And the storm is definitely still tilted, so it's not vertically stacked, so it's not really strengthening for say right now at all. So looking forward, you look at the grand scheme of things, this is Grace. I'll briefly mention Grace because Grace is making landfall as a hurricane in the Yucatan Peninsula. There's a couple well-known storm chasers down there giving live updates to that area. So it's bringing big-time impacts from an area that's already been hit by multiple hurricanes over the last year. Going forward, going back to Henri, Tropical Storm Henri is still a 70-mile-per-hour storm per the 5 a.m. update. This might be a little different by the time some of you watch this. It's still moving due west at 9 miles per hour, pretty slow. It's gotten well away from Bermuda at this point, well southwest of Bermuda, and it's still almost heading right towards the southeast. Now, I know a lot of people see this and say, well, dang, is it going to hit the Carolinas? It's not likely, but it's going to have direct impact as far as swells, big-time waves. If you're going to the beach this weekend along the entire eastern coast, I mean, you're going to have some huge waves. So if you're a big-time surfer, you're definitely going to get impacted by that. I know a lot of them love that, obviously. But rip current's going to be dangerous, so watch out for the little kids and watch out for anybody. I did not mention, if you guys have not subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button, like the video. It's much appreciated. I do daily updates, and y'all's support is definitely appreciated and amazing. So thank y'all for that. I do want to always mention that. Try to get y'all to subscribe to my channel. We've got a good little family going on here, family atmosphere. So thank y'all for the amazing support. But as you can tell, the latest cone, parts of New England like Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Maine is still in the cone of uncertainty. This looks like it's going to be a Sunday to Monday impacted storm. So right now, this is the cone of uncertainty, if you will. It's supposed to be a tropical storm all the way up until about Friday. But around Friday, it's forecast to become a hurricane off the coast, well off the coast of the Carolinas, and maintain a hurricane as it begins to strengthen and move north. So some guidance on this. A lot of guidance has this thing pretty much the same. I want to mention that in the short term, it's very important that the more southwest the storm moves, the higher chances it's going to impact New England down the road as in not too far down the road, late into this weekend actually. So the stronger the storm is, the more southwest it is going to move. So moving forward here, we have to watch this, because if it keeps moving south or southwest of the track. All right, guys, sorry, I had to stop the video. My two little girls right here were fighting. They wanted to come in here, so I brought them in here. So I know I don't do this often. There's only been a couple videos where my kids have been in it, but here's my kids. But looking forward, the guidance really likes New England. Even if it directly does not impact New England, y'all are going to have direct impacts. Cape Cod sticks well off into the eastern areas of the ocean, off the east coast. So it sticks out like a sore thumb. So they're going to be impacted by this tropical cyclone Henri. You look at the intensity forecast, you notice the bump up here in the relatively short term here in the next few days. When it gets its approach, the closest approach to the Carolinas, it's really going to strengthen to potentially a Category 2 hurricane. Category 3, which is major status, that's pushing it. But it's a possibility, especially when it's starting to make the turn. Like I said, I'm not going to go specifically into all what's causing it to strengthen the steering currents. I'm just giving you all an update on the model guidance. The latest GFS, let me tick this up a little bit. Latest GFS initializes the storm pretty correctly, has it maintain strength over the next 24 hours, and it begins to turn, begins to strengthen, and as it moves up, kind of moves from south to north along the eastern coast, right off the coast here, and then it begins to really strengthen. The latest GFS has this thing getting all the way to a 957 storm overnight Saturday into Sunday. That would be pushing major status. And then it's going to begin to weaken. There's a little area of some cooler water right here to begin to slow down. So it'll begin to weaken somewhat regardless of whatever happens. And this thing has it making landfall around eastern areas, southeastern areas of Massachusetts, into areas of Rhode Island, and definitely slamming the Cape Cod area. And going into the latest Euro, the Euro finally came along here and has this thing strengthening also, and then moving up the northern seaboard here, and then strengthening into a hurricane, and it also has ticked. The European has really came along here and has this thing at a pretty strong tropical storm, low-end hurricane as you approach Sunday afternoon just off the coast of Cape Cod and areas. And so one model that's very scary, and don't get me wrong, the GFS is very scary too, is the UK Met. We don't show this model a lot, but this thing has this is a pretty intense hurricane well off the coast of the Carolinas, hitting up some gnarly waves off the coast of the Carolinas. And stop bouncing, baby. And then as it's moving northward, really strengthens this storm, but it slams Sunday afternoon as a high-end Category 2 hurricane. And moving forward here, it really impacts New England here. So we need to watch out because model guidance has came in quite aggressive this morning. A little bit more east, but still considering that's pretty dangerous. You look at the wind field of this thing, and this is just potential wind speeds off the GFS. You can obviously tell where this hurricane is. As it's getting into late weekend, it's eyeing the southeast coast of Massachusetts, and it's looking pretty dangerous, guys. We're under 100 hours. That's the thing. We're under 100 hours. And this thing is really trying to lock in. Even if it doesn't make official landfall in southeast Massachusetts or Rhode Island or Connecticut, it's going to have direct impacts. Major windstorm and huge waves. It's going to be a dangerous storm. I think we're starting to stare down the barrel here of what looks like a likely scenario. Like I said, even if this thing goes well off here, there's still going to be major impacts for Cape Cod and places like that. So this is a scary situation. I'm not going to use scary because that's trying to freak people out, but it could be a potentially dangerous situation. You look at the potential swells, and right here is in feet. I mean, you're going to have 5 to 10 footers off the coastal areas of the Carolinas over this weekend. So if you're a big time boogie boarder, big time surfer, you're going to have some gnarly waves to check out. I love doing that, even at almost 30 years old. I love getting out there and playing in the water. My girls do too. But it's dangerous for anybody, even the strongest swimmers. So watch out. You know, if you're going to the coast and you put your kids into the water, put them well off the coast, whichever way the rip current and the water movement is going. Say if it's going this way, put them a little bit, start them up a little bit here. First off, be watching them, and then they're going to gradually shift. And just be watching them because the movement of the water is going to move them. So that's just what the rip current does. You can feel it pulling at your ankles. Trust me, I've lived in South Carolina my whole entire life and go to the beach every summer. Rip currents are dangerous and they're unpredictable, and you have to watch out for them. But big time waves slamming Cape Cod. This could be the most dangerous part of the storm. Looking here, you look at the European ensembles. They're pretty tight, but then when you get into about Sunday, they really spread apart. So there's still some big time spreading guidance here, trying to figure out where this is going to happen. The European, which has really came along here, also is showing a lot of storms slamming New England. There's a lot that don't, but even the ones that don't are going to bring some nasty swells to Cape Cod and nasty winds. I want to invite y'all to definitely follow me on Twitter, guys. I do hourly updates almost. Hit me up on Twitter, give me a follow, and I'll keep y'all updated even when I can on YouTube. So thank y'all for the amazing support. I'll have you a more detailed video tonight as far as what's driving Henri going forward. So thank y'all. Have a blessed day and stay safe out there.